welcome back to this session on supplier segmentation, which is an extension of our sourcing decisions. Last time we saw the most important decision that the organization has to take is to decide whether they are going to make the product in-house or get it done from outside using a partner in the supply chain. Now, if the organization has already taken the decision that they are going to make the product outside, then this whole thing about finding the partner, working with the partner comes up, right? And therefore, the sourcing decisions are very, very important to the organizations, or they should be very important, and many organizations have realized that. So then once the outsourcing decision has been made, right, this identification of partner becomes very important, because why are the outsourcing decisions being taken? The organization is simply going to say, what is going to benefit the yield in the in the supply chain? Do I get more benefit by outsourcing this service to the partner, or do I get more benefit by doing it myself, right? So once the organization says that, well, I will get more benefit by giving it to an outside agency, that outside agency has to be capable enough, the outside agency has to be good enough to deliver the service or product as per the specifications provided by the organization. So the outsourcing decisions will give us good results, will give us the expected results only if the sourcing partners are correctly selected. And therefore, supplier selection becomes very critical, right? Very critical. Now, for a given product or service to be done by the partner, there may be a catalog of suppliers who are capable enough to do this, right? And they have various capabilities, various constraints that they operate under. So before we even select which supplier to select, before we even decide which supplier to select, we must identify, we must understand this catalog that is available to us. Who are these partners? What are their capabilities? What are the environment in which they operate? So identifying and understanding these partners becomes very, very important, right? Understanding this partner becomes very important. In this session, we are going to actually use a quantitative method to help us understand, help us segment this set of suppliers who may be available in the market, right? So now vendor selection is usually done using several attributes. So we may look at what is their capacity, right? Now what is their lead time? What is the lead time? Lead time is the time between the organization giving the order to the supplier and the supplier delivering the product or service to the organization. That time gap is called the lead time. Now, is the capacity good enough, right? The organization may want 1,000 products to be delivered by the supplier in 1 week. Now, does the supplier have the capacity to deliver 1,000 products in 1 week? So all kinds of attributes need to be considered to help us understand these vendors, these suppliers. Vendor typically is a slightly older terminology, vendor is a slightly older terminology, but supplier is a newer term, or even better, partners are also used. So what kind of data is used to understand or segment these suppliers? As I said, the data may be quantitative, like capacity, like lead times, like the machines that are available, right? But the other data which may also play a very important role is listed here. So let us consider the following attributes, right? So the quality of the senior management in the supplier organization is very important. Now, if the senior management in the supplier organization is serious about quality, has the dedication to make sure that the products delivered to the organization are of good quality, then the supplier is obviously a good supplier, right? But the quality of the senior management at the supplier, right, is not directly quantifiable, right? How do you put a number to quality of the senior management? Corporate governance, for example, right? Corporate governance. How do you put a number to corporate governance? Let us take one more. What is the reputation that the supplier has in terms of quality, right? Now, reputation is actually market perception, right? What does the market perceive about the supplier in terms of delivering quality products or quality service? Now, since it's a perception, since it's a reputation, once again putting a numerical value may be difficult, right? The third attribute that we are going to consider are the customers, are the type of customers, right? The type of customers, right? For example, there is a organization that serves all the market leaders. They serve Samsung, they serve iPhone, Apple, right? They serve all the major cell phone manufacturers. Now, Samsung would not have selected this organization as their supplier if this organization was not good. Therefore, one way to look at whether the supplier is good is to look at what kind of customers do they serve. Do they serve organizations like Samsung and Apple and so on, or are they serving some local customers who may be willing to accept any product that the supplier delivers? But the quality of the customers again is a difficult quantification. Therefore, let us look at this attribute, and we'll talk about quantification in a while. The fourth attribute that we are going to look at are employee skills. Right? What kind of skills are available at the supplier? Now, better the employee skills, the expectation is the supplier will be able to deliver good quality products. Now, how good are the employee skills? Right? That also is a factor that may impact the organization deciding whether I should pick this partner or not. Right? Obviously, better the employee skills at the supplier, the more desirable the supplier is. Right? More attributes. Let us look at more attributes. The network of partners, right? The supplier themselves are not going to do everything by themselves. The suppliers are going to get some raw material from outside. They are going to get some service from outside, right? Let us take an automotive example. Now, as I had mentioned in the last session, most of the major automobile manufacturers don't make a lot of products in-house. They get it outsourced. For example, let us take the steering wheel of a car, right? Steering wheels may be outsourced. So let us say that the major organization, Ford, Toyota, General Motors, right? They say that, well, I'm not going to make this steering wheel assembly in-house. I'm going to get it outsourced. So I will find an outsourcing partner, and that outsourcing partner will deliver the steering wheel assembly to Ford, Toyota, General Motors and all that, right? Now, let us say that the supplier is X, right? The supplier is X. So in terms of customers, the supplier is awesome, because this supplier X is delivering to Ford, Toyota, General Motors, which are amazing organizations. So in terms of customers, they may be very good. But this supplier X, right? This supplier X is not going to get everything required themselves. For example, the plastic or the leather that is required on the steering wheel may be outsourced, right? So where are they outsourcing from? Where is the raw material coming from, right? So some small electronic components that are in the steering wheel may not be manufactured by supplier X. So where are these electronic products coming from? Because remember, they are going to get into a Ford or Toyota or a General Motor car. So if this small electronic component doesn't work, the customers are not going to blame supplier X. Customers are going to blame Ford, General Motors or Toyota. So Ford must know where is the supplier X getting the electronic components from. So what is the network, right? What is the network that this supplier has? That is important, and once again difficult to quantify, right? So the quality of network. And the last thing to be considered, last attribute that we are going to consider is the price premium, right? The price premium, not the price, right? What is the premium that the supplier is asking for? Now, technically speaking, the kind of price should be dependent on the quality, right? If you deliver good quality, I'm willing to pay you higher price. But may or may not be true always, right? Why it may not be true? Because many times price is actually used as a signal of quality, not a consequence of quality. So if I price my product higher, people will think that I am delivering a high quality product. So price may be a signal to quality, may not be a consequence of quality, right? So we need to understand what kind of price premium is the customer demand, is the supplier demanding, right? So these are the attributes that we are looking at, and as I have constantly observed, many of these attributes may not have precise numerical value, may actually be difficult to quantify, right? May actually be difficult to quantify. So how are we going to quantify these? Because obviously, as I said earlier, we are going to put that in a quantitative algorithm. So we want a numerical value for this, which may not be available. So what we are going to do is we are going to use rankings or ratings. So we will measure these attributes on some rankings, where rank 1 will mean that the highest attribute value. For example, let us take quality. Now, if I give a particular supplier rank 1, that means they are the best quality supplier. If I give them rank 3, that means they are not so good in terms of quality. If I give them rank 1 in terms of employee skills, that particular supplier has the best possible employee skills. If the supplier is rated as rank 3, that means that particular supplier does not have that good employee skills, and so on for all the attributes. Okay, so we are going to use these ratings or rankings, where higher ratings actually means better attribute value, and lower, which is 3 or 2 or 3, that means lower attribute value, right? So let us look at the data, right? Let us look at the data, and let me pause the session so that I can upload Excel. So this is the Excel of the data that I was telling you about, right? So these are, let us say, 20 suppliers who can deliver the product or service to our specifications. There are 20 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The suppliers are not identified by their names. Suppliers are, let us say, identified by their numbers, so that the anonymity is maintained, right? Let us put them in centered cells. Okay. So as I said, this is the attribute for supplier network. How good their network is, right? How good their employee skills are, how reputed they are in terms of quality, what kind of price premium do they charge, what kind of customers do they serve, and what kind of senior management does the supplier have, right? So these are the attributes that were considered, and these are the ranks of each of these suppliers. So let us take supplier 1 and explain that completely. So supplier 1 apparently has a rank 3 in terms of network, which means that this particular supplier doesn't have a great supply network, right? So the quality of raw material, the organization should really check and then only confirm, because the rating is 3. In terms of employee skills, however, this supplier is doing wonderfully well, rank 1. They have the best possible employee skills. In terms of quality reputation, they are not doing so great, because the rank is 3. This particular supplier does not enjoy a good reputation in terms of quality, and therefore this supplier also is not charging too much of premium, right? As I said, higher rank means higher value of the attribute, so higher premium, lower premium. So this supplier charges very low premium. The quality of the customers is average. 1, 2, 3 is the rating, right? 1, 2, 3 is the rating, and therefore 2 means average. So the kind of customers that this supplier serves is not great, but not bad either. But the quality of the senior management is again very good. High quality senior management. The corporate governance at this supplier seems to be very good. That is how I would read these values. And just to give you, so this is what we had said, right? This is what we had said. So supplier networks indicate the density and the quality of the supplier network, right? Really good dense network indicates that they have a good sourcing network, right? They have a variety of upstream vendors for raw material. Employee skills, level of skills of the vendor, the employees of the vendor, quality reputation, price premium, customers, senior management. And as we said, there are 3 kinds of ranking scores. 1 means above average, 2 means average, 3 means below average. So here 3 in terms of price premium means below average premium, below average price premium this customer is charging. right, which should be matching with the quality reputation, right? Sometimes it may match, sometimes it may not match, right? For example, let us look at this, right? Let us look at this supplier number 19. Supplier number 19 has quality reputation 3. Supplier number 19 has quality reputation 3, which means that they are not so great, right? Below average. They are below average in terms of reputation, in terms of quality. But price premium is 1, right? Price premium is ranked 1. They are charging a lot of premium on their price, which is kind of odd, because if your reputation in terms of quality is not that great, why is the supplier charging higher premium, right? Higher price premium in the market. So those are the things that we wish to investigate. So these are the attributes, right? These are the attributes, and these are the scores. These are the scores that each of the suppliers have received, and these are only proxy, right? Rankings are only proxy, because there is no way to get an actual numerical value for quality of the senior management. There is no absolute numerical value that tells us what are the employee skills, what is the reputation in terms of quality. So we only have to use this proxy ranking data. Okay, now what do we wish to do? We wish to identify which suppliers are similar and which suppliers are dissimilar. Or more importantly, it is not even about suppliers. So let me go back to PPT.